Domination. If you ever manage to dominate the planet and you take over so many countries that it's difficult to deal with, what you should do is build yourself a large red brick administration centre, put a picture of the world on top, and then around in the back garden, all the way down, you should put the flags of all the countries you've conquered. And you can say that this is for their own good. And this is your administration centre. This is actually Marlborough House, which is the administration centre for the Commonwealth. Now, an interesting word, isn't it? Commonwealth. Commonwealth. Common what? Of all of these countries. The Commonwealth of all of those countries. Collecting money and calling it common, the Commonwealth. Sounds a little bit like socialism, doesn't it? Collecting money, putting it into one pot and calling it the Commonwealth. Sounds like the British, in our very sad and embarrassing history, collecting all of these nations, have been spreading something called international socialism. It's all the rage, you know. Of course, it is a topic that is and isn't in the news at the moment. There is a meeting going on, as I'm sure you're aware, beginning of next month, beginning of June. It is Bilderberg. Bilderberg being held in London, well, just on the outskirts in a place called Watford. I was very upset, actually. I've been planning to go to the place where Bilderberg is being held and check out the grounds to, you know, for all the people that are coming from far, far off, they might want to see what it's like. And then InfoWars, that pesky little reporter called Paul Watson, whatever his name is, went up and did a video for InfoWars. But I thought, when I watched his video, I thought, damn it, I was going to do that. And then I also thought, God, that's a crap video. So I thought I'd go up anyway. I'm going to go tomorrow. It's going to be raining tomorrow, but I'm going to go first thing in the morning before the rain starts, and I'm going to check it out. Watford, actually, quite an interesting thing. I've been looking into the history of it. Of course, the grounds where it's going to be taking place, where the meeting is going to take place, it's called the Grove, and used to be the estate of the Earl of Clarendon, who was sort of a very good, very sort of big confidant of the royal family. Used to hold parties, basically, for people like Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria's son actually used to go to the Grove. He was called Edward VII. I've sort of documented him in one of my videos. It's called Conspirator of London. Edward VII, known for his frequenting of whorehouses. He was very much into loose ladies and orgies. Those kind of parties is what used to happen at the Grove. So a fitting place. I think, you know, Edward VII, he famously he knew more about whorehouses than he did about politics. I think the people who are going to be going to the Grove for the Bilderberg meeting probably know a fair amount about both. In fact, they specialise in that sort of thing, don't you know? Of course, there's going to be a massive police operation at Bilderberg. The thing I want to go and have a look at is just go around the edge of the grounds, the whole edge of the grounds. There's a woodland there, there's a golf course there, there's a couple of paths, there's a little river that goes through it. I want to have a look at all of it. Of course, before too long, they're going to be scoping it out, measuring it, and they're going to be organising, doing the logistics for a massive security operation. Now, the British police are a very proficient police force. They don't leave any stone unturned, and that includes strategy of how to really deal with the PR of what's going to be happening at Bilderberg. It would be very, very nice for them if there was some violence. The mayor of Watford, the mayoress of Watford, has already said that it's going to be violent. Maybe she knows more than she's letting on. Maybe she knows that it is going to be violent because they are planning an agent Provocateurs. Maybe there's going to be some provocation agents, maybe with anonymous masks on. Maybe they are going to be causing some violence, because I tend to think that the so-called protesters that are going to be attending, the people who actually want to document and actually show their faces at Bilderberg, these are people who are against violence. These are anti-war activists. These are anti-violent globalization activists. I don't think they want violence. In fact, they are against police violence. But if there is violence at the Bilderberg meeting, I think that violence will be very, very, very well paid for by the Commonwealth.